and I am talking today with Bengt Robert, scientist and water technician. It's an honor to be making this connection with you because above being water and scientist technician, you are a philosopher, and it's really a pleasure to meet you.
It's a blessing to be here myself. I'm so honored with the company that I've been given the privilege to meet yourself, your husband, Alfred, Bob, and of course my beloved Laura. It's just an honor and a privilege to be here. So it's just a joy to be here. Thank you.
Bernd, you gave the surprise, and that's beautiful because I wanted to talk in between too many things, too much wisdom. We wanted to talk also about your relation with Laura Eisenhower, which is a relation of pure love, and we will talk about it later. Tell us about what you're doing. I know that you're working with water, with the memories of water, which is forever the vital liquid of this life. Yeah. So tell us all that you're doing. Tell us about the experiments.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if we think about water, water covers most of the planet. Water's in the cosmos. It's in the comets. It's found on other planets. It's mostly found throughout the whole universe. If it's here, it's everywhere. And I had an idea. Is water alive? Are particles alive? Are elements alive? And one of Einstein's collaborators was an Indian physicist named Bose, B-O-S-E. I can't pronounce his first name. It was like Chandranath Bose. Yes. And they created a physics idea, a concept, a theory called the Bose-Einstein condensate, where all the atoms supercooled act as one atom. Okay? That was their collaboration. However, what's not known is that Bose did a lot of experiments with the consciousness of plants. And then he discovered that metals have a conscious sentience as well. He was actually able to show that metals responded to the emotional state of humans. They had an actual response. And I went, well, if that's true, it must mean that everything is alive. And we in the West treat everything as inanimate objects, except for bacteria or plants or animals. Everything else is inanimate. There's a dividing line between what is awake and consciousness and what is alive and dead and just stuff. In actual fact, given Bose's research, everything is alive, and even space is alive. Everything, the entire cosmos, is like universally conscious. And if we think about that, the implications are that we can have a relationship to everything. And if you look at Dr. Emoto's work, he found that this was actually true when it comes to water, that you can actually have a conscious relationship. You can imprint water with your thoughts, and water can transmit health and vitality to you. Well, that's one of the stories that water can tell. So one of the ideas I had was that if all matter and everything is alive, then it must have an urge. It must have a desire, a will, a purpose, an idea, a plan. And so I went, this must have resulted in all the life in the planet. All this matter, self-organized and created and added minerals and amino acids and proteins and phosphates to create organisms. And so the latent intelligence and consciousness of water aggregated itself until it could walk and talk.
Is it like reflecting into the mirror of those crystals that everything has, the water?
Could you explain your question again?
Is it like reflecting or seeing through the mirror that the crystals of the water have?
What you're seeing in his work is a reflection of what's in the liquid water as a structure. Okay? Let me explain. In water, there's no purity. Water always has a little of something else in it. If you ultra purify water, so there's almost nothing in it, within seconds it begins to absorb gases from the air. Okay? If you have water in a pipe, it has the elements that are in the pipe and from the reservoir and from the well and from the ocean, from wherever it came, it has the elements, but it also contains how those elements structure the water. So there's the information field in the water that can be subjected to intention, but there's also the structure of the water, how the ions and the intention actually create what's known as a water macromolecule. Macro meaning many molecules of water. And you could write that chemically as H2O in parentheses with an N. N equals the number of water molecules in a cluster. Okay? Very simple. Very simple. And it's the actual basis of how water organizes itself. And if you look at the work of a great water scientist, Victor Schauberger, he found that water was its densest and had the most life at about 3 degrees centigrade.
But all this, if we put it in easier words, can we say that you are working with the memory of water to... What have you done?
Right.
What have you discovered into water, and what are you working with it?
Right. So I said that water can tell many stories. One of the stories is, here's where I've been. Where the water has been. One of the stories can be, here is how I'm organized. Here's the architecture of my molecules. Another one is, here's the vibration I'm carrying in my molecules between the atoms. Another one is, what do I have inside of me for minerals and elements and pollutants and toxins and other things, okay?
So through those stories that you have rediscovered with
Yes.
the help of other past experiments, you are making water as an element to program
Yes.
what we want.
Yes.
Tell us about.
Well, first of all, I run a company with a partner who is a clinical nutritionist, and he is an amazing gentleman. I am so blessed to have this man as a partner. His name is Arnell Lindgren, and he has been a nutritionist and a trainer to the Hollywood stars and to the very wealthy elite and to singers and actresses and models in that area for many, many years.
What's the name of the company?
Our water company is called Anu, A-N-U, Anu Water. And so together we have created a product, and I believe that if I was to sum our purpose in working, we're bringing the water of life. We're putting as much life as we can into water. We start with tap water and we clean it up and take out all the memory, and then one by one we add minerals and this and that and the other, so it's structured and it has memory and it has information fields. And when people drink this water, they have a huge change.
And I can tell that because I had a sip yesterday night, and it really works. So, where can we find the water? What's the name of the
Yes.
bottling company? Is it
Yes.
correct to say bottling company?
Yeah, the name of the bottling company is Anu Water. Our website is anuwater, water.com. And if you go to the website, you'll see at the top banner, you'll see Anu Talk. And under Anu Talk, you'll be articles and research papers. And Arnell wrote a number of articles for spa magazines and healthy living magazines, and there's 10 articles that he wrote about health and nutrition. In addition to that, there's one called The Sciences of Anu Water, a very technical paper written for scientists and amateur scientists and healthcare practitioners to understand what is it that we're actually doing with water and what's the science behind why our water affects the body so profoundly.
It's wonderful to talk with you about water and what you're working and what you're doing and discovering through it, because as human beings we've always been taught, drink water, you need to drink water, you are 3 parts liquid, you are 3 parts water, and water is totally and completely health. But when we know that beyond health we can program water to have amazing changes in us, it's wonderful. So tell us about, do you have different programs on the water for different purposes, or it's just one program whole as a package?
What we have done is create 3 different products. The first product is only sold through healthcare practitioners, and it is a very strong water. And the reason we only sell through healthcare practitioners is that it has such a powerful effect that sometimes there is a die-off of pathogens in the body, and the practitioner has to assist the patient to go through the process and not take so much, remind them to work with their diet and their probiotics in order so that there is a gradual transition from a diseased state, an unhealthy state, to vibrant, healthy living.
Does that water have a name?
That is called Professional Extra Strength. Okay?
The name says everything. Extra strength. So,
Yes.
and there are 2 more.
Yes, the other one is called Professional.
The Caracola is calling us from the ocean.
The next is called Professional Daily Standard, and that is for the person to drink on a daily basis. Okay?
What happens with that? What happens?
It has less of the active ingredient that addresses the pathogens in the body and over oxygenates the body so that a person comes back to a vibrant health. It's a little less, okay? And it's much less price.
Okay, and you tell us about prices. What's the one that I had a sip yesterday, because we were very tired and we kind of like felt awake, like if we came back from a nap.
Yes, that was the Professional Extra Strength. Yes,
The
yes.
very, very expensive ones.
Yes, yes. We also make what's known as Anu Sports, and that is one that anybody can drink, and it has many, if not all, of the properties of the Professional Extra Strength, but it is much more moderately priced, and you can drink all that you want. We had an athlete, a triathlon athlete, but this athlete competed internationally, and they would do a triathlon a day. So in 5 days, he had run over 500 miles, swam over 10 miles.
No drugs, just water.
Yes.
And his,
Yes.
of course, his training
Yes.
and his spirit. Tell me something. Where can we find the water? Is it? Do you sell it in the market? Where can we find it besides your webpage?
Well, we're setting up distribution in Mexico very soon. Yes. And also we have our website. Healthcare practitioners can purchase it online, and we have a shopping cart that's secure, and they register and they can purchase it.
Can we have approximate prices on
Yes.
what can we get for how much?
In United States, this is United States pricing for a first world country. It is $200 for 4 gallons, which lasts about a month, and that's the retail price.
Okay.
And the practitioner gets a discount from that. And the price for the daily standard is about $140, okay, for 4 gallons, and the sport is $100. And then there's some places we're setting up private distribution deals and private label where a company comes to us and asks us to private label for them, and then the price is much less than that so that they can participate in the profit structure.
So if we visit the page, the web page, which you are going to tell us, www,
onnuwater.com.
we can find out testimonies. Testimonies, is that correct?
There are
Of,
some testimonials.
And opinions of doctors and scientists.
Yes, very much so. What we have seen is there are some diseases that have no traditional diagnostic nor cure. And what we have seen is that it has an effect. Anu has an effect there that nothing else seemed to address.
So for anybody that wants to give a chance to the beautiful water,
Yes.
let's try Onu. Onu.
Anu.
O-N-U.
A-N-U. A-N-U.
Anu.
Anu. Anu is a very old word from the Sumerian, meaning the god of the sky or the god of the heavens. And then Laura told me that Dianu, his sister, was the goddess of healing waters. And if you look in Germany and Poland, the Danube River is named after her. It's named after Dianu. If you go to the Norse in the Scandinavian countries, they have runes. And the rune for Anu is water, flow. And if you go to the Sanskrit, Anu is the quintessence of being. If you go to the Tibetans, the second highest yoga is Anu Yoga. So Anu is a very spiritual word. But the meaning that I took was from a book called Occult, meaning hidden, chemistry, by two theosophists, Anne Besant and C.W. Ledbetter. And they did clairvoyant investigations of the atom, and they found that the atom was composed of living particles they called the Anu. So I've named the water after the living particles.
And I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
And I want to have a sip of Anu and to drink water, and I really strongly recommend to all the friends that are watching to find more about this water, because I've tried it, and I thank you very much for this talk. And